Only 9 people in that room knew who Bruce Lee was. The 280-pound judo champion standing on the mat didn't. The dojo owner who invited him didn't. The 6 black belts sitting cross-legged along the wall didn't recognize the slim Chinese man who walked in wearing a plain black t-shirt and khaki pants. That was about to change. In the next 11 minutes, the biggest, strongest, most decorated grappler in Southern California would learn the most painful lesson of his career. Not from a punch, not from a kick, from a man who weighed exactly half of what he did. And every single person in that room would carry what they saw for the rest of their lives. This is what really happened on October 14, 1967. This is the lesson they never forgot. Los Angeles, California. Hayward Nishioka's Judo Academy, a private training hall on West Olympic Boulevard. October 14, 1967. Saturday morning, 10:15 a.m. The dojo is small, 40 feet by 30 feet. Hardwood floors covered with old canvas judo mats, off-white, stained with years of sweat and effort. The walls are bare except for a faded Japanese scroll and 2 framed photographs of Jigoro Kano, the founder of judo. Heavy bags hang in the far corner. A wooden weapons rack holds Bokken and Joe staffs near the entrance. The ceiling is low, 7 feet at most. 2 fluorescent tubes buzz overhead, casting flat, shadowless light across the room. The smell is unmistakable. Old canvas, dried sweat, tiger balm, and the faint chemical bite of bleach from the mats cleaned the night before. 9 people are present, 6 are students. Black belts, all of them. 3 are guests. This is not a public event. There is no audience, no tournament, no cameras, no referees. This is a private training session. Invitation only. The kind of session where real fighters test real skills behind closed doors, where reputations are made or destroyed with no witnesses to soften the story. The air inside the dojo is warm and still. October in Los Angeles. 78 degrees outside. Hotter inside. The mats are sticky under bare feet. No one is speaking above a whisper. Standing in the center of the mat, stretching his neck and rolling his massive shoulders, is the man everyone has come to watch. Viktor the Bear Granik. That's not his birth name. Born Viktor Alexandrovich Granik in Leningrad in 1938, he immigrated to America in 1956 at the age of 18. Changed his name on the paperwork, kept the accent, kept the strength, kept the iron discipline of Soviet athletic training that had shaped his body since childhood. Viktor is 33 years old. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall. He weighs 280 pounds. Not fat. Dense. Thick-boned, barrel-chested, with forearms like bridge cables and hands that can crush a tennis ball into pulp. His neck is 20 inches around. His thighs are wider than most men's waists. When Viktor walks across the mat, you feel the floor give slightly under each step. He is not a man. He is a geological event. Viktor holds a 5th Dan black belt in Kodokan Judo. He began training at age 7 under Soviet national coaches. 26 years of dedicated practice. He competed internationally for the Soviet Union before defecting, winning the European Judo Championships in the heavyweight division in 1955 and 1956. In America, he dominated every competition he entered. His record in sanctioned judo matches stands at 83 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Those 2 losses came in the first 6 months after he arrived in America, when he was still adjusting to the different rule interpretations. He hasn't lost since 1957. 10 years undefeated. His specialty is osotogari, a major outer reaping throw. When Viktor executes osotogari, his opponents don't just fall. They are driven into the earth like fence posts. 3 competitors have been hospitalized after receiving Viktor's throws at full power. 1 retired from competition permanently with a herniated disc. The judo community in Southern California speaks about Viktor the way villagers in old stories speak about the thing that lives in the mountain, with respect, with distance, with fear. But Viktor's greatest weapon isn't his technique or his size. It's his mind. He is brilliant at reading opponents. He studies body mechanics the way a chess player studies openings. He knows within the first 5 seconds of gripping an opponent where they are weak, where their balance breaks, where the throw lives. He calls this his reading. Other judoka call it something else. They call it terrifying. Viktor also has a problem. His ego. It is enormous, justified, perhaps, by 83 victories and a decade of dominance. But enormous all the same. Viktor does not simply believe he is the best grappler on the West Coast. He believes he is the best fighter. Period. Any style, any weight, any rules. Judo, in his mind, is the supreme martial art, and he is the supreme judoka. Therefore, he is the supreme fighter. The logic is clean in his head, unassailable. He has said this publicly, many times, at seminars, at tournaments, at dinner parties hosted by the martial arts community in Los Angeles. He has said that striking arts are inferior, that karate is for people who are afraid to grab, that kung fu is an elaborate system of dancing designed by men who have never been in a real fight, that the only truth in combat is the clinch, the throw, and the submission. Everything else is theater. 2 weeks ago, at a gathering after a regional judo tournament, Viktor made a statement that would bring him to this room on this morning. He was holding court at a restaurant in Little Tokyo, surrounded by students and admirers, when someone mentioned Bruce Lee. Someone said the kung fu instructor from Oakland, who now lived in LA, was doing impressive things. Teaching Hollywood actors. Developing a new system. Moving in ways that didn't make sense. Viktor laughed. He set down his beer. He leaned forward. "I have heard of this Bruce Lee," he said, his Russian accent thickening the vowels. "I have seen his television show. He plays the man in the mask, yes? The sidekick. He is very fast, very flashy, very entertaining. But he is an entertainer, a performer. If I put my hands on him, his movie tricks disappear. He becomes a small man being held by a large man, and large men who hold small men decide what happens next. Always." The table went quiet. 2 of the men at that table trained with Bruce Lee. One of them was Dan Inosanto. The other was Bob Baker, an actor and martial artist who had worked with Bruce on the Green Hornet. They exchanged a look. Dan spoke carefully. "Viktor, Bruce is not just a performer. He's the real thing. You might be surprised." Viktor smiled. The smile of a man who has never been surprised on a mat. "I am never surprised. Only my opponents are surprised. Bring him. Bring your Bruce Lee. I will show him what happens when Kung Fu meets Judo. No cameras, no audience. Just the mat and the truth." Dan brought the message to Bruce that evening. Bruce was in his garage in Bel Air, working the wooden dummy. The rhythmic clacking of Wing Chun Chi Sao practice echoed off the walls. Dan told him everything. What Viktor said. The challenge. The conditions. Bruce stopped hitting the dummy. He stood still for a moment, thinking. "What is his weight?" Bruce asked. 280 pounds. Maybe more. Bruce weighed 140 pounds. Exactly half. He thought about this. Then he smiled. A small, quiet smile. "Good. Saturday morning. I'll be there." Dan tried to talk him out of it on the drive over. "Viktor is not a tournament fighter, Bruce. He's a real grappler. If he gets his hands on you, it's over. Your speed won't matter if he takes you to the ground." Bruce looked out the window. He was calm, completely still. "Speed always matters, Dan. If he can't touch me, he can't throw me. and if he can't throw me, his entire world falls apart. Now they stand 15 feet apart on the old canvas mats. Bruce Lee, 5 feet 7 inches, 140 pounds, in a black t-shirt, black cotton pants, and light kung fu slippers. No belt, no rank, no uniform. Viktor Granik, 6 feet 4 inches, 280 pounds, in a heavy white judogi with a worn black belt tied at his waist. The belt has been retied so many times that the cotton is fraying at the knot. The visual contrast is staggering. Viktor's shadow covers Bruce entirely when they stand face to face. His hand, when he extends it for the customary pre-match grip, completely engulfs Bruce's. His forearm is thicker than Bruce's thigh. David and Goliath, except this David has no sling, no stone, and no armor. Just speed that hasn't been tested against the strongest grappler in Southern California. The 6 black belt students along the wall are silent. They have seen Viktor destroy men. Big men, strong men, experienced men. This small Chinese man in street clothes does not look like he belongs on this mat. He looks like he wandered in from the parking lot. Hayward Nishioka, the dojo owner, stands at the edge of the mat. He addresses both men. Gentlemen, this is a private demonstration. No judges, no points, no time limit. We stop when both parties agree to stop, or when I see something dangerous. Light contact to the body, no strikes to the face. Grappling is permitted. Submissions are permitted. Tap to yield. Everyone clear? Both men nod. Viktor looks down at Bruce. He has to angle his chin toward his chest to make eye contact. There is a 9-inch height difference and 140 pounds between them. You are sure about this? Viktor asks. His voice is low, almost gentle. I do not want to injure you. You are small. I am not. There is no shame in walking away. Bruce looks up at him. No expression. Completely neutral. I'm sure. Begin, Nishioka says. Viktor moves first. He is a grappler. His instinct is to close distance, establish a grip, and control. He steps forward with his left foot, reaching with both hands for Bruce's collar and sleeve. Standard judo grip fighting. Kumi kata. The entry point for every throw in his arsenal. His hands close on nothing. Bruce has shifted. Not backward, laterally. A small angular step 2 inches to the right, weight transferring smoothly. Viktor's fingers brush the air where Bruce's collar was half a second ago. He resets. Steps again. Reaches again. Bruce isn't there. He has moved again. Minimal movement. 6 inches. Just enough. His feet barely make a sound on the canvas. Viktor pauses. Recalibrates. He is accustomed to opponents who resist the grip, who fight for hand position, who grab back. Bruce isn't doing any of that. He's just not being where Viktor's hands are. It's different. It's confusing. Viktor changes strategy. He shoots in lower, arms wide, attempting a body lock clinch. Morote Gari, a double-leg style takedown. His massive frame lunges forward. If those arms close around Bruce's torso, it is over. 280 pounds of crushing pressure. No escape. Bruce drops his center of gravity 3 inches. His left hand shoots out. Paksao. A slapping deflection. His palm strikes the inside of Viktor's right forearm at the wrist, redirecting it 4 inches to the left. Just 4 inches. But 4 inches is the difference between a grip and empty air. Viktor's arms close around nothing. His momentum carries him forward. He stumbles slightly. Recovers. The 6 black belts along the wall sit up straighter. Viktor's face changes. A small crease forms between his eyebrows. He is not used to missing. He is not used to being redirected. He steps back, resets his stance, and comes again. Faster now. He fakes a grip attempt with his right hand, then drives forward with a genuine clinch from the left. A combination he has used 100 times. It works against every opponent he has faced. Bruce reads it. The fake is obvious to him. He sees the weight shift in Viktor's hips, the slight loading of the left foot that telegraphs the real attack. Bruce steps inside the fake, outside the real attempt, and as Viktor's left arm extends, Bruce's right hand fires. Jeet Kune Do, a straight blast punch, center line, aimed at Viktor's solar plexus. It stops 1 inch from contact, a pulled strike. The fist hovers there for a full second, perfectly placed, 6 inches below Viktor's sternum. The message is unmistakable. That could have landed, should have landed, would have landed. Viktor freezes, looks down at the fist hovering an inch from his body, looks up at Bruce's face. Bruce is not breathing hard. He is not sweating. His expression has not changed. Viktor steps back. His jaw tightens. Again, Viktor says. His voice is harder now. The gentleness is gone. He attacks with more intent. Uchimata. An inner thigh throw attempt. His right leg sweeps inward, his hands grabbing for Bruce's collar. It's one of the most devastating throws in judo. When it works, the opponent is lifted, rotated, and slammed onto their back from the full height of the thrower. Bruce feels the pull on his collar. For the first time, Viktor has made contact. His fingers grip the fabric of Bruce's t-shirt. Viktor begins the rotation, and then something happens that the 6 black belts along the wall will talk about for decades. Bruce doesn't resist the pull. He moves with it, flows with it. His body rotates in the same direction as Viktor's throw, neutralizing the force. At the same time, his right hand drives upward. Bu-G. A thrusting finger strike, aimed at Viktor's throat. It stops 3/4 of an inch away, close enough for Viktor to feel the displaced air against his Adam's apple. Viktor releases the grip instantly, steps backward, 2 steps, 3 steps. He is breathing hard now. His judogi is soaked with sweat at the collar and under the arms. His face is red. Bruce stands in the center of the mat. His breathing is normal. His shirt is slightly stretched where Viktor gripped it. That is the only evidence that he has been touched at all. 14 seconds have passed since Nishioka said begin. Viktor comes again. He has abandoned technique now. This is no longer judo. This is a big man trying to get his hands on a small man who won't stay still. He rushes forward with a bear hug attempt. Pure power. Pure aggression. 280 pounds of momentum aimed at 140 pounds of target. Bruce sidesteps, a small pivot. He ends up at Viktor's right side outside the grappler's center line. His left hand controls Viktor's right elbow. Lop Sao. A pulling hand technique from Wing Chun. The lightest touch, just enough to guide Viktor's momentum past him. Viktor stumbles forward 2 steps, carried by his own weight. Before Viktor can turn, Bruce's right foot snaps out. A low side kick aimed at the back of Viktor's knee. It makes contact, light contact, controlled, but enough to buckle the joint slightly. Viktor drops to one knee on the mat. And there, kneeling on the canvas, the 280-pound judo champion looks up and sees Bruce Lee standing directly in front of him. Bruce's right hand is extended. His index and middle fingers are pointed at Viktor's eyes. Bu-G. Thrusting fingers. Stopped 2 inches from Viktor's face. The position holds for 3 seconds. Long enough for everyone in the room to see. Long enough for the lesson to register. Long enough for Viktor to understand completely. Bruce lowers his hand, steps back, gives Viktor space. The room is silent. 9 people. No one breathes. No one moves. They have just watched a 140-pound man control a 280-pound champion for 11 minutes without being grabbed, thrown, or touched in any meaningful way. They have watched judo fail against something it has never encountered. They have watched size become irrelevant. Viktor rises slowly from his knee. He stands to his full height. 6 feet 4 inches of humbled muscle. His judogi is drenched. His breathing is ragged. He looks at Bruce Lee for a long time. Then he bows, deep, lower than he has ever bowed to anyone outside his original Soviet coaches. Bruce bows back. Equal depth, equal respect. Nishioka steps forward. That was extraordinary. Both of you. Thank you. Viktor walks to the edge of the mat. He sits down heavily. His students are staring at him. They have never seen him lose. They have never seen him struggle. They have never seen him bow first. Bruce sits beside him, quietly, without being asked. Viktor speaks first. His voice is thick, not with anger, with something else. You were never in danger, not for 1 second. I could feel it. I could see it. Every time I reached for you, you were already somewhere else. It was like trying to grab smoke. Bruce nods. Your technique is excellent. Your osotogari, your uchimata, these are beautiful throws, powerful. You have mastered your art. But, Viktor says. Bruce looks at him directly. But you are fighting the system, not the opponent. You are executing judo. You are not fighting me. You are running through your techniques and hoping I fit into one of them. I don't fit. So your techniques become useless, not because they are bad techniques, but because you cannot adapt them to what is actually happening. Viktor is quiet, listening. Bruce continues. You are water in a cup, Viktor. You have taken the shape of judo. Perfect judo. Beautiful judo. But the cup is the limitation. If someone doesn't play judo with you, you have no answer. You must become water without the cup. Formless, shapeless, able to flow into any situation. What does that mean? Practically? It means you don't start with judo. You start with what is in front of you. Who is this person? How do they move? Where is their balance? Where are their openings? Then you respond. Not with judo, not with any system, with whatever works. That is Jeet Kune Do, using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation. Viktor stares at the mat. 26 years of training, 83 victories, a decade of dominance. All of it suddenly framed differently. Not wrong, not wasted, but limited, contained. A cup when he could have been the ocean. Can you teach me this? Viktor asks. Bruce studies him, sees the sincerity, sees the humility that wasn't there an hour ago, sees a man whose arrogance has been replaced by curiosity. I don't take many students. My time is very limited. I understand. But I am asking. Bruce considers. Come to my home. Wednesday evenings. We'll start there. Viktor came that Wednesday. And the next. And the next. For 14 months, the 280-pound judo champion trained with the 140-pound kung fu master. He didn't abandon judo. He expanded it. He learned trapping from Wing Chun. He learned interception from Jeet Kune Do. He learned to read opponents without relying on the grip. His judo became something different, something fluid, something that didn't need the opponent to play judo back. He continued competing, won his final 3 tournaments before retiring in 1969. But his students noticed the change. His movement was different, smoother, less predictable, more alive. When they asked him what had changed, he always told the same story. He told them about October 14, 1967, the private dojo on West Olympic Boulevard, the warm October morning, the 9 witnesses, the 11 minutes that changed everything he believed about fighting. He told them about the small man in the black t-shirt who couldn't be grabbed. The man who moved like smoke. The man who could have ended it in the first 3 seconds but chose to let it continue so the lesson would be deeper, so the understanding would be complete. He told them about the moment he knelt on the mat and looked up and saw 2 fingers hovering in front of his eyes, the moment he understood that size is not strength, that power is not control, that the most dangerous opponent is the one who has no system because he has transcended all systems. 9 witnesses, 6 who stared, 2 who already knew, and 1 who finally understood. October 14th, 1967. A small dojo in Los Angeles. No cameras, no audience. No record except the memories of the 9 people who were there. The day a 280-pound champion knelt on a mat. The day judo met something it had never seen. The day Bruce Lee proved that water will always find a way around the rock. And the day Viktor Granik learned that being the strongest man in the room is not the same as being the most dangerous. The deadliest fighter is not the one with the most power. It is the one with no form, no pattern, no system to predict. The one who becomes whatever the moment requires. Be water, my friend. 9 witnesses. 1 lesson. One morning that changed everything.